The night we refused to vanish. I used to think the forest was beautiful. I don't anymore. Not after that night. The moment the sun slid beneath the horizon, the trees changed. They weren't trees anymore. They were walls. Bars. The forest wasn't a place, it was a cage, and we were the animals inside. Leah gripped my wrist hard enough to bruise. My twin, my other half. Without her hand clamped to mine, I would have sworn I was already gone, swallowed, forgotten, erased. "It's fine," I whispered, even though the word tasted like rust in my mouth. "We just have to last until morning." But the forest didn't want us to last. The cold came first. It crept beneath our jackets, our skin, into our bones, until I swore even my blood turned sluggish. Every breath felt like breathing glass. My jaw ached from clenching against the shivers, but when I saw Leah's lips turning blue, the ache turned to rage. I wanted to fight the cold, beat it, scream at it, but cold is not something you fight. It seeps. It conquers. We stumbled through the undergrowth until we found a hollow under an oak, its roots jutting out like ribs. It wasn't shelter. It was a grave we crawled into willingly, pressing ourselves into the dirt because at least the dirt didn't move. That's when the noises started. Snapping branches. Leaves rustling with no wind. A low groan that might have been a tree settling, or something circling us, waiting. Leah clutched my sleeve. "Did you hear that?" Of course I heard it. Every sound was a knife against my nerves. But I couldn't let her see how badly my chest was tightening, how much my body wanted to run. "Just the trees," I lied. "But the trees don't breathe." And I swear I heard breathing. We tried to talk to keep ourselves awake. Useless scraps of memory, thrown into the dark like offerings. "Remember when we pretended the floor was lava?" I whispered. "You cheated. You pushed me off the couch. You cried. You cried too." For a second we laughed. The sound was fragile, trembling, but it was ours. It was rebellion, but the forest hated rebellion. Something screamed in the distance. Not an owl, not a fox. Something raw, inhuman, tearing the night open. My throat locked. Leah's nails dug crescent moons into my arm. "What was that?" she hissed. "Doesn't matter." But it did. Every sound mattered. Because the longer the night went, the less I trusted my own ears. Time broke apart. I don't know how many hours passed. At some point I started seeing things. Shadows between the trees moving when the wind was still. Faces in the bark, watching. A hand stretching from the dark. I blinked hard, but the images clung. My brain was unraveling. Hunger gnawed, thirst burned, fear hollowed me out. And still we sat there, holding on to each other like rope over a cliff. Leah's head sagged against my shoulder. Her breathing slowed. For one heart-stopping moment I thought she was gone. I shook her, too hard. Her eyes flew open, wet with terror. "Don't fall asleep!" I snapped, my voice breaking. She stared at me wide-eyed, and I realized my hands were still on her shoulders, trembling. "I'm here," she whispered. "I'm here." I don't know if she was saying it for me or for herself. The threats didn't stop. At one point, something moved through the brush, closer this time. I heard it. Deliberate steps, not the scurry of an animal. Heavy, waiting. My chest seized with panic. I wanted to stand, to fight whatever it was, but my legs wouldn't obey. So I wrapped both arms around Leah and pulled her close. If it wanted one of us, it would have to take us both. The sound faded, or maybe it never existed. My ears buzzed with doubt. Hours stretched into centuries. The night wasn't a span of time. It was a predator, circling, testing, clawing at the edges of our sanity. Every second I expected something to lunge from the shadows, teeth first. But somehow, nothing came. And that was worse. Because waiting is its own kind of torture. When dawn finally bled through the branches, it didn't feel real. At first it was just a pale smear of gray, so faint I thought it was a trick. Then gold seeped in, slow and soft, until the trees looked like trees again instead of monsters. Leah's shoulders slumped against mine. Her face was pale, hollow, streaked with dirt and tears, but her eyes were open, alive. "We made it," she whispered, Something inside me cracked open. I laughed, ugly, ragged, broken, but it poured out anyway. She laughed too, the sound trembling but real. The forest hadn't won. We were still here, two bruised, half-frozen, hollowed-out kids clinging to each other in the ribs of an oak, but alive. That night didn't give us strength. It didn't give us wisdom. It gave us scars, invisible but burning. And it gave us the knowledge that sometimes survival isn't about fire or food or skill. It's about refusing to let go of the one hand holding you to the earth. The forest tried to break us, to erase us, to devour us, but it choked. And we walked out together, laughing like survivors who had no right to still exist. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and a comment of what you thought of the story, and don't forget to subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it.